guys, BBI here. I want to stop and say thanks for tuning in and checking out whatever the video is about that's about ready to come up next. If you could take a minute and hit subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you enjoy what you've seen here, make sure to hit the like button. We'd greatly appreciate your support. Anyhow, guys, all that aside, let's get on with the show. I think we're going to start here. I was sitting over here talking to the camera, and the camera wasn't even on. I'm standing out here talking to myself for the joy of it. This little Dave made. And I pulled this side panel off of the amp for your guys' viewing pleasure. I normally wouldn't even bother with this. It's a little 2-pill. It's got HGs in it, and this bottom one is blown. As we can clearly see, the 10 ohm smoke has been released heavily from that resistor. In my opinion, this is usually about the best you're going to want to do for a 1-pill enclosure. And the reason for that is the massive lack of airflow. Okay, so yeah, it's got grates on both sides, and yeah, air can waft through, but if you think about it, hot air rises, right? Well, then we're going to enclose that in a solid metal box, and it's just going to kind of waft the heat through. The only reason that this thing probably failed is it got too hot and it cooked itself down. Now, I don't see the results of that other than if we look really close here in between the transistors. You see how all the flux is cooked up on the transistor leg? The little brown schmegma? That's solder flux, okay? This stuff here. And that is flux that used to be present inside the solder, interbound with the solder itself. And so as it gets hot, the flux will cook up to the top and then harden, okay, off to the sides. So this thing has got screaming hot, and this transistor went popsy. So now I used to use these exclusively for 2-pills. The guys make these cabinets over there at ICA. They make this little cabinet here. It's roughly the same size. It's got roughly the same blueprint to it. It's got a whole lot less ventilation to it than the Dave made style. But how I used to overcome this, come on. How I used to overcome this is I'd take 3 little 1-inch fans and I'd mount them down in here. That's how I used to build them way back when. I'd have them so they pull air through the cabinet, so at least to get a little bit of air circulation across the heatsink. But we were having the same problem. It was just cooking off. It was straight up cooking off. And lots of failures with those little first ones. Some guys will go as far as to punch a hole in the lid, like in here someplace, and they'll have a fan blow into the cabinet, which doesn't really do you any good because there's no circulation of air across the actual heatsink. The other thing we got going on is a little on-off switch is broke. So usually these capacitors get so hot in these little boxes, they break down, they cause an imbalance, and that's actually what kills it. So you check my output capacitors, the swamping capacitors across the output transformer. Make sure we're good to go. I'm going to pull and check both transistors, and then I'm going to replace the power switch. I will probably put a little bit longer than that power wire in it, which won't take very much time. And then I was sitting here kind of playing around with doing something like this. I got these 2 little fans. They're 12 volt. Let's see, they're 1/10 of an amp. These 2 little fans. And if I can get them to spin slow enough to where they're quiet enough, I think I'm going to mount them something like this. Something like that on the outside of this thing, so we can at least get a little bit of airflow through it and hopefully make the amp last a little bit longer. Just not a big fan of doing those little fans because they're so loud. I mean, they're they give you a headache. You're driving down the road trying to listen to the radio, and in the background you got the fan going. Can't stand that crap. So I'm gonna go play. This is our official intro portion of the video. So, yeah. On that note, peace, yo. I shall return. It's too freaking loud, man. Although we're getting monster amount of airflow through the cabinet now. I wouldn't want to sit and listen to that all day. I just wouldn't. So let's put a resistor in there and slow it down a little bit. Sometimes low and slow is better than high and fast. I would rather have that running in the background constantly than wee. Okay. Real simple. New power wire. Checked our input tune, checked our pass-through tune. New power wire, little B+ upgrade here in the back. Replace this transistor. Wash the inside of the thing to make it look all nice and crispy and clean. Ooh, pretty. Pull a 72 ohm resistor in here, 5 or 10 watt. Enough to control these two fans and not get super hot itself, which is going to falsely induce a bunch of heat into the cabinet. And shoot, that was pretty much it. Check these caps, the input and the output transformer caps. Everything worked out real well. Alright, so 1000 watt slug and peak, 1000 in average, 5 watt slug in reverse back from the Bird 10,000 watt dummy load. We're going to use the 2950 and then probably go over here to the Striker real quick. So first, let's go look at our pass-through tune. Non-existent. Drive power. Our whole whopping 20 watts that we've all come to know and love. That's cute. About 400 watts out. Nice low input tune. So 400 watts out with 20 watts of drive. At least with this little fan on it, it's now got a fighting chance of lasting more than a minute. I've got to come up with a better system for these coaxes. I have no idea what this is going to do when I hit it with a Striker. Okay. Turn the amp back off. About 80 watts worth of drive. One. About 500 peak watts, 90 watts of drive. I will live with this. Feel comfortable with this. Well, one little small item left to do. Stick a sticker on it, that way the whole world knows I was here. Mr. C, I put the tin on it, run it in the house, and now that I got all your boxes done, I think it's time for me to give you a call. Dave Maiden, 2-pill, with a little bit of McNasty love to it. Peace, man. I'll see you. Bye. Oh yeah, and gentlemen, my name is BBI, and without a shadow of a doubt, I am the biggest mud duck in Idaho. Come follow us and check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and of course right here on the YouTube Gargler. First time you ever gotten to watch one of these videos, take a minute, click subscribe, please. And if there's anything that I can do to help you out, any questions, anything, don't hesitate to give me a call. All right, well, I'm going to go off and enjoy the rest of this Sunday afternoon. Bump, bump, gentlemen. We'll see you.